Hello boys and girls, welcome back to Arts and Crafts. Today we're going to be making a vase with very simple materials, just an empty jar that you've washed out and is clean. You'll need a paintbrush, or you might have one of these sponge brushes, or even just a sponge if you don't have a paintbrush. And then you'll need some glue and a little bit of water, and a spoon for stirring, and some tissue paper. You might have some tissue paper left over from Mother's Day. Sometimes when you get birthday gifts or Mother's Day gifts, the bag has tissue paper in it. Well, if you have some of that colored tissue paper around your house still, or just maybe even unused tissue paper if your mom will let you have that, then go ahead and get a few different colors if you can. I happen to have some yellow paper left from one of my birthday gifts that I received on Mother's Day. My birthday and Mother's Day were the same day this year. So I'm going to use this yellow paper, and I'm going to cut little triangles and maybe some squares. You could cut circles. There's a little square. You could cut rectangles. Let's see, if I do a circle, you could even tear different pieces. If you don't have scissors, you can tear pieces apart just to make some small little shapes. Here's my circle, sort of. There we go. Like I said, you could even just do, there's kind of a rectangle. It can be rough around the edges. You could tear it into little squares and smaller pieces. They don't even have to be a certain shape. So once you've gotten enough little pieces of tissue paper, whatever colors you want to use, then you'll also want to mix your glue water. It's going to be like making a type of decoupage. You'll need a spoonful of glue. See if I can get it to come out. And this is a tablespoon from the kitchen. So check with your parents to see if it's all right if you use one of their spoons. You don't really have to measure perfectly. You could use some plastic spoons, do a couple of plastic teaspoons if you want, but go ahead and put your glue into a cup. You could get a paper cup or just a used plastic container that you've cleaned out. Doesn't have to be anything fancy. And then once you get your glue down into your cup, you'll need about 2 or 3 times that amount of water. I'm doing 1, 2. I'm going to see how the consistency is with 2. I did 2 tablespoons of water mixed with the 1 tablespoon of glue. I think that's going to look right. So I mix that up till it gets very liquidy. So it's kind of like 2 to 1, your ratio of glue to water. 1 tablespoon of glue, 2 tablespoons of water. So it makes it very liquidy. I'm going to set that aside and put the cap down on my glue so it doesn't dry out. Now I happen to have a lot of little pieces of tissue paper left over from a previous craft project. So I'm just going to use those today. I've got blue and red, greens, all different colors here, in addition to the yellow ones that I just cut. And so I'm going to take my empty jar and my paintbrush, and I'm going to put just a little bit of the glue water on the outside of my jar, all up and down it, and then I can just stick my pretty colored paper on it. I think I'll mix some other colors too. There's a triangle, that's kind of a gingham. Here's a red square, and I'm going to overlap them a little. The red is kind of overlapping my yellow, and then I'm going to put a pink overlapping the red and the yellow. And now I'm going to go back with my glue water on my brush, go back over it just a little bit to give a little coating on the outside, and that way it's going to really stick. And I'm going to go all the way around. Here's a little circle, a green circle that I had cut out earlier. And here's my yellow circle. Might put it down, right down here. But I'm going to go all the way around, and now I'm going to add a little more glue water just to make sure it stays. It kind of seals it in. Let's see, I think I'll add some blue. And it's another piece of blue and another green. And then I'm just going to brush over it. And I'm going to go all the way around and cover the entire surface of the jar. See how I'm overlapping? And this is going to turn into a very pretty vase. And then you could give it as a gift if you wanted to. If mom or grandmother or an aunt or somebody's having a birthday, you could make one of these and fill it with some flowers from your yard. All right, let me put all those pieces of yellow that I had cut out earlier. A little bit more pink. And some blue. And this pretty green. Here's kind of a large piece, so you could do larger pieces too. And it looks kind of like a stained glass window. See that green? I put that all the way over there, and now it went all the way around one side, and now I'm going to put a piece of red right on top of that big piece of green. So you can definitely overlap. And that way you can make yours look totally different than mine. And you can use your imagination and use whatever colors you like. You could do it all one color if you wanted to. Alright, I think I've just about finished. I could probably keep adding some. There we go. And then I'm going to show you what you can do with it. Whoops! Sticks to your fingers when you get glue on them. When you get it all finished, I'll show you the last step. So there is my stained glass vase. And here was one I had made before, and you can see you can use different shapes of bottles. You can use a jelly jar or an empty peanut butter jar. Just clean it out really well with soap and hot water. Rinse it, maybe wipe it out with paper towels and make sure it's good and dry and clean from all the food that was inside, and then you're ready to go. So I didn't even use all of my glue water. So really you just need barely even a tablespoon of glue and then a couple tablespoons of water. So once you're finished, you'll have to ask your parent if it's okay, but if they'll let you, go out in your yard and pick a few flowers and you can put them in there. You'll need to add a little water. Ooh, I've got glue in my water now, but probably it'd be better if you didn't have glue in the water that you're pouring into your vase. But anyway, your cut flowers will need to have water. Now remember, the outside will need to dry, and even once it's dry, you don't want to get it real wet afterwards because the glue is probably water soluble. It's probably school glue, so you don't want to run this part underwater. You just want to be careful and pour water straight inside it and not get the outside wet later on when you're using it as a vase. But then you can put beautiful flowers in it, and the gardenias are blooming this time of year and they smell so nice. They have a great fragrance, and that makes a nice natural air freshener. I've got some stories that I want to show you that you can check out from the library. Oh, I'm getting more paper on my fingers with all the glue. Let me wipe off my fingers because I don't want to touch the books when my hands aren't clean. Get them really clean. All right, I have some special books that you can check out as an ebook from hcplc.org. That's the library website. And you'll be able to find the Vanderbeckers and the Hidden Garden if you go to our website. Use your library card and you can check this book out. We also have, that was written by Karina Jan Glasser. And this one, The Tools for the Garden, this is a nonfiction book. It's a great one if you're planning to plant a garden now that the weather's so nice. And this is written by Mari Shub. We've got What Does Bunny See by Linda Sue Park. And the pictures are by Maggie Smith. And that's all about a bunny in the garden with lots of beautiful flowers. This is a book of colors and flowers. So that would be nice if you've made a vase for Mom. I Have a Garden by Bob Barner is also offered as an ebook on hcplc.org. And Digger and Daisy Plant a Garden. This one is written by Judy Young and illustrated by Dana Sullivan. Thank you for joining me for Arts and Crafts. I hope you'll check out some ebooks today at the library website, and I hope you'll make a pretty vase for somebody you love. Thanks again for joining me. So long.